Hi everyone, welcome to RicksDIY. Today I'm going to be installing the easy transfer switch that I made. This is really simple, just a single switch, double pull, double throw switch. There's nothing additional involved. And we got a gas furnace here we're going to be putting this on. And I'll show you how to do that. And I finished putting the wire. I pulled everything off to label that. I'll pull this back through here and on the switch. Kind of wanted to show you a couple things on the switch and how it operates. So in the center position on this one, it's in the off. And I kind of wrote on here on the top utility, and on the bottom is the plug. So the way that works is when you switch it here in the center position, these center posts is what feeds our furnace in this case. So whatever appliance or whatever you have it connected to. When you actually close one of these, when I close the bottom, it actually closes the two top terminals together. So now this one has continuity through here, and so the power will flow through here. So when we actually put this on the plug, we want to actually put our plug wires on this side, and our utility will come in on the bottom. And when we do that one, then it will switch it to the utility ones on the bottom. So it actually does the opposite of where you're at. And you want to double check on your switch, but most of the switches are set up that way. But you want to double check with a meter and just put it on a continuity tester where it beeps, and you can test to make sure your switch operates in that function. So because of that, we want the plug ones actually on the top in this case. So I'm going to put these ones on here, and it doesn't really matter what side you put on the witch. I just want to make sure that you keep it that way throughout the rest of the... So your neutral's on one side and your hot's on the other. And we got our ground wire. So the first thing I'm going to do after that is shut off the power to our gas furnace. And I don't know if you can hear the buzzing right now, but that's the transformer actually inside. I'm going to pull the cover off here. Might make it a little louder. And you can see here, that's where power's coming in right here on this. This is a fluke voltage stick, volt alert. This is for 90 to, I think it says on here somewhere, 90 to 600 volts it detects. So if I actually go to the hot here, you can see it'll light up. And that's, we're verifying, now we're verifying that that is operational, that this does work. It is detecting electricity and our power's on. So I'm going to shut the breaker off on that. You probably hear it got a little quiet there. I'll come back and verify that the power is off, and it is off. We can also double test that with a voltage meter. So I'm going to do that real quick here. Just going to pull this off without see it too well there, but there's our meter. You gotta get the light in the right way, so there it's. Maybe what I'll do is I'll clamp it on here, and then I can move it up. So I'm just gonna go across the leads here. And we are detecting nothing. But you can't see it there, but another way is to check from the ground, from the cabinet itself, bare metal to your hot leg. And so verify that the power's off and that it's safe to work on. I'm going to disconnect all these wires now. got black, white, and green coming in. That's our hot, neutral, and ground. Light from a different angle there. So I'm going to have to remove the nut on this and kind of attach everything. See there kind of what we got going on, and so it's not very tight. Usually you have to use a pair of pliers or channel locks to kind of break that loose. And pull that out. Don't have the best setup here, but so I got that set up now, and I'm going to pull this out. Just kind of leave that off to the side. Now, what I did on the on our box here is I already got the knockout in the back opened up, and the one on the top I pulled off. And we're going to just basically put this on there like that, and our power will come back in here, and then we'll feed the wires through our center junction. So the best way to do that is we're going to need a grommet. There's a couple different grommets you can use, styles, and I got this one here, which is pinches the wires, and that just snaps right in. And I also got this one, which is kind of a hole through, and I'm going to use that one for in this setup today. And that's just to give it a bushing for abrasion. And what I like to do is you can kind of go either way with this on either direction, but just push this in until it snaps, and then you can bring it in like that, push it in some more, and it will actually hold it there while you screw it to the cabinet. So I'll get that set up like that. Now I can come in here with my drill and put a couple screws in to secure that. Okay, so I got that is secure now. I got a couple screws in there holding that. I'm just going to try to pop that in a little more. I'm going to grommet. Now we got to get our power fed in there, and this cable's pretty tight getting in there. What I'm going to do is actually pull off this bracket there. Holding that. I'm going to try to keep everything that we got already without changing anything. Well, it just fits right in there. I'll put my nut back on. Sometimes it's easier said than done. See if you can't see it. Okay, so our ground, that's just going to go straight through. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick that already. stick that back through here. I'm sorry I couldn't get more direct on. There's just not enough room on this side here to get the camera in. And then on these, what we're going to do is I don't want to cut them too short. We're going to want to bend them. And do a bend towards the bottom. Kind of like that. And then again towards the... Let's see if I can get that in the right spot. And I basically want to try to pre-bend them in about the position where they're going to be at. Just about right there. And then I can kind of pop that out. And we can put our connectors on. It's already set up. Okay, so now we need to put our connectors on. We have a couple choices here. We got this blue one, which is a 14 to 16 gauge wire, and we also have a yellow one. This is a 10 to 12 or 10 to 14 or something like that. Just based on, you know, how big the hole opening is. And so for this case, I'm just going to show you here on the ground wire. It kind of slides in real easily, and we crimp that. And then if I put in the blue one, it's pretty tight, but I can get it in there. So I'm going to try to do the blue. I like these ones because these are fully insulated. I don't have any of the yellow ones that are fully insulated. And it's a lot tighter, so it makes crimping them a lot more secure. So I'm going to have to put on both of these. But I'm going to have to cut these down. They're a little too long. You don't need it really long for the connector, the insulated connector. I'm just not sure on this black one. It's kind of a little crooked. I have to, in fact, I probably will just cut back and re-strip it. Gives me a good, hopefully that'll be straight enough to slide it on there. Let's try it out and see. Yeah. So I'm going to push that back as far as I can and double check, look in there, and it's going right where I want it to. Same thing with the white one, our neutral wire. Feed that in there. That one's not going in as far. There it goes. I want to make sure that it's past the insulation. So I got both of that, and then on these we're going to be using the non-insulated crimp to crimp that down. You're going to want to do a real tight crimp on these to make sure they don't come off. With the solid wire, it's a little more critical. That's not budging. We'll do the same thing on our neutral wire. Good crimp. Feels good. I don't have anything showing. And so the other thing you could do is to put some electrical tape, or you could run some of the shrink tape on there if you already have that, or shrink tubing. So the other thing I need to do is get my neutral wire coming from the furnace, which feeds the furnace, and my hot wire. So it's these black and white ones a little short. I gotta see if it's not gonna be enough to get in there and feed through the bot. My black is plenty long enough. So I'm gonna have to grab some more neutral wire here. We'll get that, and then we'll feed those through to put those onto the switch. Okay, so I got some more neutral wire here, and I'm gonna pull off this one and redo it. I like to put electrical tape over these connector nuts when there's more than 2 wires in this kind of circumstance. There's a lot of vibration in these gas furnaces and blowers and stuff, so it just kind of helps prevent any accidental things coming loose. Now I got a longer wire that I can poke through there. I'm going to go ahead and strip these down. Have a good clean cut on it. And I'm stripping off about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch, and then I'll put our fully insulated blue connectors on. Crimp these down. I'm going to do the same thing with our hot one. Now, this one's a little long because it was set up for strip or for the wire nut, so I'm going to cut this down so we don't make it quite as long when we put on the connector. Push the connector on, crimp that down. I'm going to feed the black. Black through here. It's kind of tangled underneath the ground wire. There we go. And then our hot wire. Neutral. So we got both of those here now coming through. Like I said, this is what goes to your center post. And we want to keep them on the same side, so our hot's on this back side here from where you're seeing it. Let me see if I can. It's a really tight spot here, so it's kind of hard to get a good camera angle. Push that in. I'll actually turn it over. You can see I didn't get it fully pushed on. There we go. And then come back with our neutral. And then now I just got to connect up our, I need to put the ground. I'm going to feed that ground through, see if I didn't cut off a lot on that plug. Should have fed a little bit more off of there, but I think what I'll do is see if I can get that ground pushed in there real quick. Yeah, so I got the ground pushed on there. What I'm going to do with the ground here is I'm going to get these terminated. I think I'm not going to be able to do that at the same time. I should have cut the ground wire a little longer to kind of give me more play in there, but we can do that right now. Yeah, so I'm going to get a little more ground wire here, so I'm going to take a razor knife and very carefully just kind of try to slice into this cord here a little bit. Let's see if we can't pull that through. There it goes. take much. That should be good there. Cut off this insulation here. This is just a kind of a cotton wrap that got wrapped around that. There. That should make things a little easier. I got a lot longer ground wire to feed through here. Troubleshooting as we go. Much better. Okay, so back to where we're at. We need to do our hot and our ground on the bottom of the switch here. We'll do our hot first. Put that on there. It's nice having these insulated ones. You don't have to worry about it, the terminals being hot when you push everything in there, in case it rubs up against something while you're getting it set. Okay, so like I said, I got that twist already in there. I'm going to twist these up again, if you can see that. I'll kind of give that all, be able to tuck in there. And these other wires, I'll be able to, let's see, those ones are the cord stuff, so I can kind of tuck that in. Just kind of push everything in, see how it fits. Make sure we're not rubbing up against anything. And now I can screw that down. Okay. I'll show you that one real quick, kind of best as I can. If I get in there, if it'll be, that's not enough clearance. So. That's what we got. And I'll sit in the center off, and then on top will be the utility, and then on the bottom will be our plug. I've got that set up there. And now we just got to finish our ground wire here, and then we'll be finished with that. Get that set back up here. We got our ground coming through, and to strip just a little bit more from that one. And our other ground. When I got two stranded and one solid, I like to put the stranded together first. Get those nice and even. And match it up to our ground here on our solid one. This will ground everything from the circuit breaker back to the cabinet. And when we have our generator plugged in, it will also be grounded through the ground, the whole house ground. So that's nice. So now we got everything done and wired up there. We are basically complete. We can start it up. I'll turn the power back on. I'm going to put that in off position. And turn the breaker back on. So we should have power now coming. And we'll verify that there is no power yet. We don't have any power. There's no power to any of this. We're not back feeding, which we can't do anyways, but I'm going to switch that to utility. You can probably hear the buzz of the transformer, and we have power now. You see there? Shut that light off. You can see the glow a lot easier. Now we got our power. There's no power, I said, feeding through here. Can't happen. And so what we'll do when we're running on a generator is we'll unplug, or we'll shut this off. Just trying to get that reset up. We'll come in here, shut that off, plug in our generator, and switch to utility cord. And that will be getting the power from this cord now. And then when our utility line is back on, I can just come back and turn that back on. And that's it. Thanks you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And like I said, this is one of the most simplest, easiest transfer switches that you can make yourself. If you guys have any questions, please send me an email or a message through the YouTube videos. Thanks.